morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. So let's get started with what's making headlines as far as Times of India is concerned this morning. So Times of India this morning has got a special on India's coronavirus count with second highest growth rate. India's story is one of big contrast. Fourth highest globally in new cases on May 26. Our number of cases are rising sharply. India and Brazil are two countries where cases are growing really fast. And then this is another very interesting and important update on the front page only. Someone unwell in your family, here's why you shouldn't panic. And here this page gives you all the details about how to go about it. If there is somebody who has tested positive in your house, if there are asymptomatic cases, home quarantine, mild cases, COVID-19 care center, moderate cases, COVID-19 health centers, and serious cases, COVID-19 hospitals, which are the hospitals that you can look for. The details are given here. The numbers that you can dial are also mentioned here. Private labs where you can get tests done are also mentioned all here. So very important information this morning on this page of Times of India. And the big story that Times of India today is leading with is what's happening between India and China. Envoy reaches out, says India and China pose no threat to each other. Elephant and dragon must dance together. This is a story by Sachin Parashar, and Chinese ambassador has said we should correctly view our differences and never let them shadow overall situation of bilateral cooperation. We should adhere to basic judgment that India and China are each other's opportunities and pose no threat to each other. Then US President Donald Trump also offered to mediate in raging dispute. That's another story here. Meanwhile, Nepal plan to validate new map has been delayed. Nepal government's proposal for a constitutional amendment to revise the nation's map in the national emblem has run into rough weather now. That's another story on the front page. Then update about the migrant laborers in the country. After 41 years, Centre set to redefine migrant workers. This is what Siddhartha has reported. There is a plan to register them for social security benefits. Learning from the ongoing migrant crisis, the government is set to redefine migrant workers after 41 years and plans to register them to enable access to social security and health benefits under the Employees State Insurance Corporation. So this is another important update. And then, as we've been reporting since last couple of days, that if all these migrant laborers will go away, then who will really be there once the economic activity begins, once factories, industries start getting operational? Now, there are various states which are trying very hard to stop these migrant laborers from going back to their respective home villages. Punjab, meanwhile, is surveying possibility of new jobs. Rajasthan has announced a skill training program. Tamil Nadu's Avan Dairy has promised long tenure jobs with 20,000 per month salary and benefits like ESI and PF. In Maharashtra, a Pune-based realtor is paying workers 2 months salary in advance along with performance incentives. In Gujarat, India's biggest salt industry in Kutch is offering double the salary to workers who come back. Karnataka has announced 3,000 rupees additional financial assistance to construction workers, mainly migrants, along with ration kits. So these are the measures that are being taken by various states as well to not let these migrant workers go back home, so that they stay and they get everything in these particular states. Meanwhile, UP government is expected to sign MOU to provide 7.5 lakh jobs per year to returning migrants. Another big story here. Now, Delhi has seen another big spike with 792 new cases and 15 deaths, and India's COVID count has in fact crossed 1,51,000 already. It took 109 days to hit 1 lakh, but just 9 days to add 50,000 more, because in the last couple of days only we have seen a sharp spike in COVID cases in India. Then nephew, niece, Jaya's heirs, High Court has said assets valued up to 1,000 crore rupees. Karnataka has said can open malls, hotels if center okays. Vijay Mallya's return to India may take months. Another big story on the front page. And Supreme Court has asked as to why no free COVID care at private hospitals. A 4-year-old among 5 to die on trains in 48 hours. An important update coming in. Then IAF Chief flies Tejas solo. IAF Chief Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria flew the indigenous Tejas light combat aircraft on a solo sortie in Tamil Nadu on Wednesday. And faces masked, lipstick sales take a hit. Focus now shifts to eye makeup. And lastly, this is a tale of two flights on the first page only that you can find. A family in Bhopal hired A320, which is a 180-seater aircraft, to ferry only 4 people from Bhopal to Delhi. The total cost was 10 lakh rupees. And second, here is a farmer who has put 10 of his staff on flight home. And these people were actually stuck in North Delhi since March. They could not go back to their village in Bihar. And on Wednesday, these 10 migrant workers were preparing to catch a 6 a.m. Indigo flight thanks to this farm owner, Pappan Singh Gehlot, who organized these flight tickets for these laborers. Moving on, there are a few other interesting stories in Times of India today. Here, Savarkar Rao has stalled Bengaluru flyover reopening and Assam floods have worsened now. Nearly 3 lakh people have been affected, and a newborn was found buried alive. Doctors say he's stable now. This incident happened in Uttar Pradesh. Moving on now to the latest we have for you from the Navbharat Times. और अगर फ्रंट पेज की बात करें तो जो इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में चल रहा है वही पहली खबर है आज। चीन ने शांति की बात की, फिर सीमा पर सैनिक बढ़ाए, और यूएस प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने कहा है कि भारत और चीन को बताया है कि अमेरिका मध्यस्थता करने को तैयार है, हम ऐसा करने के इच्छुक भी हैं और योग्य भी। तो ये आज की बड़ी खबर है यहाँ पर फ्रंट पेज पे। उसके अलावा नवभारत टाइम्स ने रिपोर्ट किया है कि कोरोना के मरीजों में भारत जो है अब 5वें नंबर पर आ गया है। ये एक्टिव केसेस की बात की जा रही है। वर्ल्ड में जितने भी एक्टिव केसेस हैं उसमें इंडिया का जो नंबर है वो 5 है विद 83,004 केसेस, और सबसे ज्यादा एक्टिव केसेस हैं अमेरिका के पास 11,45,000 से भी ज्यादा। दिल्ली की बात करें तो 24 घंटों में सबसे ज्यादा अभी तक के केस आए हैं 792। और राहुल गांधी ने एक्सपर्ट से पूछा वैक्सीन कब तक आएगी, ये भी एक बड़ी खबर है यहाँ पर फ्रंट पेज पर ही। और यहाँ पर यह भी रिपोर्ट किया गया है कि क्या लॉकडाउन 15 जून तक बढ़ेगा। केंद्र बोला अभी कोई फैसला नहीं किया गया है। अब लॉकडाउन 4 जो है वो खत्म होने वाला है, तो अब सवाल खड़े हो रहे हैं सबके मन में कि 31 मई के बाद क्या होगा, क्या लॉकडाउन आगे बढ़ाया जाएगा, लॉकडाउन 5.0 भी होगा या नहीं। बट केंद्र ने अभी कहा है कि कोई फैसला नहीं है। टिड्डियों को लेकर कुछ रिलीफ है, दिल्ली को खतरा नहीं है। धौलपुर की ओर जो है पूरा दल अब मुड़ चुका है, और 10 साल में तीसरी बार ये लू आई है क्योंकि हीट वेव जो है बहुत ज्यादा चल रही है और 47 डिग्री से भी ज्यादा टेम्परेचर रोज रिकॉर्ड किया जा रहा है। उसके अलावा जिन अस्पतालों को मुफ्त जमीन है वे फ्री इलाज करें, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऐसा कहा है। बड़ी खबर है। डिप्रेशन में आईआरएस अफसर ने फांसी लगाकर जान दी। और एक आखिरी खबर जो आपके लिए हाईलाइट कर दें, दिल्ली में स्कूल खोलने की तैयारी, 5 तक का प्लान मांगा है। तो क्या उम्मीदें हैं, दिल्ली चीफ मिनिस्टर ने जो अभी कहा है कुछ दिनों में कि एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि अब हमें कोरोना वायरस के साथ ही रहना पड़ेगा, और अब स्कूल खुलने की भी और जो है दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट अपना ध्यान दे रही है। लेट्स मूव ऑन नाउ टू द इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स, द पिंक पेपर, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टोरीज इन द फ्रंट पेज only. Here on the front page it says banks may need to raise 20 to $50 billion in the next 2 years. Fitch Ratings has said banks to require $50 billion capital in 2 years because the NPLs could rise by 200 to 600 basis points. Problem is bigger for public sector banks with no recapitalization plan for the government amid volatile market. Analysts say expecting PSBs to raise market funds is a tall ask as they are trading at a discount of 0.2 to 0.6 times book value. Then as far as COVID-19 is concerned, Suzuki boss is expecting a bigger knock to India. Engine supply chain challenges addressed and local production expected to be in the range of 60,000 units for the month of June. Now, even though there is a slowdown that the auto sector is facing, the car makers are lining up new launches. That's another important story. BDR move on Remdesivir clone irks Gilead. US firm has flagged concern with PMO and other departments as Indian company seeks not to make and sell this particular drug in India. This is what Tina Tacker has reported. Supreme Court has said list private hospitals that got land cheap, treating COVID-19 patients free or at minimal cost is the need of the hour. Now, strapped government to fast-track 4 lakh crore of 4G spectrum sale. Interministerial note is being drafted, may be presented to the cabinet next month. This is what Devina Sengupta has reported on the front page. Companies that choose to shield staff during the storm. Some firms have now decided to hike salaries, make variable payouts and promote employees as well. That's important story here. For example, HUL, Asian Paints, Myntra, Bharat Pay, etc. have started rewarding employees by salary hike, variable pay and promotions. How does it help? It keeps the morale high of the employees in uncertain times, and it also creates goodwill for the company. Lastly, big restaurants may walk out of malls to high streets. McDonald's specialty plan to relocate over no clarity on mall reopening. Perceived risk factor and higher rentals, and high-end restaurants are now ready to serve food at home. And there's another important story here on the front page. IT companies are seeking some relief in labor laws. NASSCOM wants states not for flexi shifts and surplus layoffs as well. So those were the big headlines on the front pages of all these 3 newspapers. Let's get more city specific and get you the latest as far as national capital is concerned. My colleague Sherin is now joining us on the broadcast. Sherin, good morning. Delhi has seen another big spike with 792 new cases. This, if I'm not wrong, is the biggest spike that Delhi has seen in terms of new cases so far.
Good morning, Hina. And yes, absolutely. Delhi has seen one of the biggest spikes in the COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours, which has in fact taken has crossed the mark of COVID-19 cases in Delhi over 15,000. Now, it was on May 22nd when there were about 600 cases reported in 24 hours. But in last 24 hours, there are 729 cases that has been reported. Now, at the same time, the Delhi government has in fact before the relaxation has said that they do expect that there will be a much more increase in the cases, but at the same time they also have said that there is in fact recovery rate that is also increasing. Now, when we talk about these 15,000, over 15,000 cases, there are also over 7,000 recovery cases as well. And also the Delhi government maintains that they have enough infrastructure to make sure that this situation can be dealt with. So overall, if we see, Hina, there is a 34% increase since the relaxation was announced by the Delhi government. Since those in these 2 weeks, we are seeing there are 34% increase in the cases that has taken the COVID-19 positive cases over 15,000 in national capital alone.
Thank you very much, Sherin, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India, and the front page says Mumbai's positivity rate has jumped 6-fold to 18%. Doubling rate in 10 wards is now 9 days. That's also very important. Kajal Iyer, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Kajal, good morning. The front page also has a story which says Rahul talks to Aditya Thackeray, praises state's efforts. I mean, many would ask, you know, situation is getting from bad to worse. Then what is it that Rahul Gandhi is really praising Aditya Thackeray for?
This wasn't about praising Aditya Thackeray. This is basically about the fact that 1 day prior there was news of rift between the MVA because of Rahul Gandhi's statement, wherein he said, wherein he tried to shirk responsibility for anything that was happening in Mumbai by saying that the Congress is only supporting the government in Maharashtra and is not part of the government of Maharashtra. That statement did not go down well with most of the MVA constituents here in Maharashtra, including the Shiv Sena and the NCP, and that is why this was a call about trying to say that everything is okay between the MVA constituents, and that the Thackerays and the Gandhis have no issues with each other, and that they are together in issues with respect to Maharashtra.
All right, Kajal, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. We're now quickly moving on to Bengaluru edition of the Times of India. And here the big story is that Karnataka is ready to reopen malls, hotels and theatres only after May 31st. But the state is waiting for MHA guidelines later this week. Deepak Bopanna, my colleague, is now joining us on the broadcast. Deepak, good morning. What is the reason that the state is confident that time has come to reopen malls, hotels and theatre? Because those are the places where there will be large gathering of people. Deepak, if you can hear me, I mean, you know, many will ask, is Karnataka ready to reopen malls, hotels and theatres? Is the COVID situation better there?
I'm not getting audio.
Okay, we'll try and get Deepak back in just a bit, but that's the big story here. Let's get more details on this. This Karnataka government is in favor of opening up all activities which include malls, hotels, restaurants and cinema halls as well after May 31st when the lockdown 4.8 is slated to end, provided the centre gives a green signal. So Karnataka is waiting for some sort of a nod from the centre's side. Deepak is back with us. Deepak, is the COVID situation better in Karnataka? The government there is ready to reopen malls, hotels, theatres?
Well, as far as malls, they're planning to probably get better clarity from the center and, probably with social distancing norms, and there will be SOPs that will be issued for the malls. As far as restaurants is concerned, the Karnataka government has been keen because the Restaurants Association has been saying when you can have, cabs open up and you can have a variety of other businesses open up where there could be a same issue as, in a restaurant. They're saying that the restaurants could probably open with about 30% or 50% capacity with limited seating. This was a proposal that was made, and probably a similar proposal has been sent by the state to the center. But of course, the state government here makes it amply clear that any decision that will be taken will only be based on consultation with what the center has to say.
All right, Deepak, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. In fact, Bengaluru's Times of India edition is also reporting that the Chief Minister has said mosques, churches also set to open on 1st of June along with temples. And there's another important update. A survey has suggested that 1 in 3 homes in Karnataka are vulnerable to COVID-19. And last-minute cancellations leave migrant workers on the streets. Hundreds of migrant labourers desperate to head to their hometowns and villages were left stranded on the streets of Bengaluru as some Shramik special trains were cancelled at the last minute on Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Moving on now to the Chennai edition of the Times of India. My colleague Shilpa is joining us on the broadcast. Shilpa, good morning. Returnees are reporting acute symptoms. Tamil Nadu to recruit more doctors and workers.
Well, that's it, Hina. In fact, that's what the Times of India has reported today, that most of these people who are returning from other states and foreign countries are showing acute symptoms. Otherwise, Tamil Nadu Health Minister Vijay Bhaskar had said that around 80% of the patients in Tamil Nadu are asymptomatic. Now, considering that these patients are showing acute symptoms, they are, of course, planning to recruit more doctors and health workers, is what the Health Minister has told the Times of India. Yesterday alone, 817 new cases of coronavirus were reported in Tamil Nadu. This was the highest single-day spike, and the state has, of course, crossed the 18,000 mark. The total number of cases in Tamil Nadu as of date is 18,545 cases, and out of these 817 new cases, 139 of them were people who came from different states, and 138 of them came from Maharashtra, and one person had come from Kerala. So that, of course, is the big challenge for the state government as of now, because many people who are returning from other states and other countries are testing positive.
Right.
Until yesterday, the health minister said around more than 700 people from Maharashtra has tested positive. So they are, of course, stepping up their measures at the airport and railway stations to monitor all these incoming passengers to make sure that they are not infected by coronavirus, or even if they are, then immediate treatment is given and they're isolated before they get back into the city.
All right, Shilpa, thank you very much for the moment for joining us with all of those details. In fact, this edition of Times of India is also reporting that experts believe Tamil Nadu must test 18,000 people per day to flatten the curve. Prisons are also on high alert. 190 inmates and staff got tested for coronavirus, and 7 nurses, in fact, have also tested positive at a medical college and hospital on Wednesday. So those are some of the other important news stories in this edition of the Times of India. Lastly, let's get you the latest from the Kolkata edition of the Times of India. Windbreaker on Kolkata returned to normal a week after Ampan. 96 km/h. Nor'wester as strong as Ayla rattled city left battered by cyclone and scarred by corona. Let's go across to my colleague Tamal Saha joining us on the broadcast. Tamal, good morning. There are 2 battles that West Bengal is fighting, corona and second, what happened because of cyclone Ampan. Amidst all of this, from today onwards, the air travel from West Bengal is also going to begin.
Well, that's right. In fact, the state government did express its reservation, its concerns over the fact that more and more migrants would be now coming. And the state has now sought the intervention of the Prime Minister over that particular issue, because the state wants staggered entry of people into the state so that fighting or battling corona can continue parallelly with the recovery of the state from the natural disaster that is extremely severe cyclone Umphan. But as you rightly mentioned, it was exactly a week after last evening there was another squall speeding of between 90 to 96 km/h, which kind of ran through the city, uprooting trees once again. So areas where power was restored after almost a wait of a week were off the grid once again. So people were once again reminded the grim memories of extremely severe cyclone Umphan. The scare factor, the wounds were once again poked. But for the state of West Bengal overall, on one hand, yes, there are challenges like recovery from extremely severe cyclone Umphan. At the same time, given the fact that the flight operations are beginning, we have to wait and see how things transpire and how much it affects the fight against corona.
All right. Thank you very much, Tamal, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the latest from around the world. And the big news today is that US President Donald Trump has threatened social media after Twitter fact-checked him. The US President on Wednesday threatened to shut down social media after Twitter for the first time censured him for mildly adding a fact-check notification to 2 of his tweets in which the president made unsubstantiated claims about widespread mail-in voting fraud in US elections. That's the big story here. France, Belgium and Italy have stopped hydroxychloroquine's use on COVID patients. WHO had recently stopped its trial over safety issues. That's another big story. And lastly, a study has found that cloth masks may prevent COVID spread. Moving on now to the world of sports. My colleague Karishma will be joining us in just a bit to get us the latest as far as sports news is concerned, and can't host T20 World Cup this year. This is what CA has told ICC. Cricket Australia has told the ICC. Karishma is joining us on the broadcast. Karishma, good morning. Cricket Australia and the Indian Cricket Board have agreed against the need for a biosecure environment for India's 4-test tour that begins from December.
The test series is much more important, and Cricket Australia has assured the BCCI that coronavirus will be under control by the end of the year, and that the traditional test series that is supposed to have 4 test matches with starting in Brisbane on December 3 and then the very important day and night test match in Adelaide, Boxing Day test in Melbourne and the New Year test in Sydney. Cricket Australia has assured the BCCI that that is going to be possible. Whether spectators will be allowed or not will depend on the on that time of the year when what the government guidelines are going to be. But more importantly, Cricket Australia assuring BCCI that the test series will happen. But the BCCI also saying that they will keep taking stock of the situation and decide accordingly.
All right. Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Let's now get our viewers what they can find as far as Delhi Times page is concerned. And the first news is about Sonu Sood, the actor who is held helping the migrant laborers, and he says intend to work till the last migrant reaches his hometown. Training at Akhada in the lockdown. This is what Sakshi Malik has said, who has been training in a Desi Akhada at her in-laws' place in Haryana with some help from husband and fellow wrestler. And lastly, no duty-free goodies. Flyers, in fact, now are shopping for safety gear at the airport. So that's it on the newspaper show. Thank you for staying with us.